show. He's part of the decision making on where we go each week, and then the content of the show as well. He kind of wanted to start it off with some thoughts here about coming here.
Yeah, I mean, just, you guys look around here. What a setup this is here at Iowa State for us. It's a great backdrop for college game day. It's really always special when we come to a campus for the first time. We feel the energy from the crowd. It makes us better. We're so looking forward to the passion of all the Iowa State fans here and the Iowa fans. I'm sure there's going to be a good mix of both. But this is a spot we've been wanting to get to for a long time. Like, we always have a lot of debates in our office, in our meetings. We have a lot of fun with it. Like, where are we going next? Where are we going to go? And Iowa State's been somewhere that just always and we brought the basketball show here a few years ago. I don't know if you guys remember, but like, they filled Hilton, and it was one of our best basketball crowds ever. So we're expecting more of the same tomorrow morning. It's going to be great. Looks like the weather's going to be terrific. Just to give you sort of some highlights of the show tomorrow. Certainly we're gonna spend some time on this game, this rivalry. That's why we're here. So Gene Wojciechowski's doing a little feature on the history of the Cy-Hawk rivalry and the trophy. It should be fun. We're gonna talk the game. We're gonna have Seneca Wallace on the show. He's gonna come on as a guest at some point. Not the picker. We're still sort of finalizing our guest picker right now. To get that out of the way. Looking at bringing in the celebrity baby names. So more info on that hopefully to come later today. Other than that, we're just really looking forward to seeing what this crowd has in store. The other cool thing just looking around here is we don't get a lot of spots where the tailgating is so in such close proximity. I think that's going to be a real unique backdrop for the crowd. We're going to have the fans here, the tailgating over there. We're just really looking forward to it. So, any questions you guys have? You know what's so funny? I actually just asked Chris the Bear Felica that on the way out, because I knew that question was going to come up. And I'm not sure if we ever had like a near miss range or not. At least not in the time that I've been on the show. But I'll tell you, it's one that we talk about the Cy-Hawk every year on the show, because we just love rivalry, especially like in-state rivalry games where your neighbor might support the team that you hate. And now you got a trophy. We're just sort of geeks for trophy, college football trophies, whether it's Florida Rosedale or $5 bits of broken chair, whatever they are. I mean, we love college football trophies. So this is one that's just been on our radar for a while, and we're excited to do it.
How close were you to not coming, I guess? How much of a debate was it kind of in the 11th hour?
It's tough to say. I mean, certainly the outcome of the Syracuse-Maryland game helped make that decision easier. But this is one that, I think it was sort of win-win for us. We coming to Ames, great. Like, love this one. So.
Are you guys going to have the Cy-Hawk trophy on set or anything tomorrow?
I'm almost, I don't know that for sure. I'm 99.9% sure.
Jamie said that he had reached out to you guys right away after the end of the bowl game. How early do you typically hear from schools that would like you to come?
That's not unusual that far out. We sort of start looking at the end of the national championship last year, maybe 2 days later. Again, Chris the Bear Felica, he keeps us aligned and everything. And he sent out a list of all the possible. What could you tell the guys being here before? What could you tell them about basketball, football, different?
Well, I've been here for football before. I called a couple of games on Thursday night here, and the one thing that blew me away was the tailgate scene even on Thursday night. Now, I can only imagine, now that was Texas, but I can only imagine what it will be like for the Cy-Hawk game and on a Saturday. And hopefully they'll come out and get started nice and early with us here, because I'd like to see a scene similar to what we had at Washington State last year, where probably what it was, probably exaggerating, but Derek, how many people we have in Washington State? 30,000, something like that? 30, 35,000 people. And, we'd love to see something like that here. So it would be fun. I'm sorry I ruined your soundbite by asking up the archive.
What's the added appeal to going to a place that you haven't been before?
The biggest thing for me is that they're not used to having us. I mean, we're always welcomed and treated very well at places that become regular stops. Ohio State's, Alabama's, Michigan's, places that we're treated great. But the fans are very used to it, and it's not different for them. I think the thing that always strikes me about going to a new place is that fans are really proud of their program, their rivalry, their school, and they want to showcase that. I don't think this is like, them coming out just to see us. They're coming out to use our show, which I hope they enjoy and value as a way to show the pride that they have in their school and their program. So I think when they get the opportunity to do that for the first time, or for the first time in a long time in some cases, you can really get a lot of energy. Even Texas, a place you would think that we've been a lot, we hadn't been there in 10 years. And last Saturday, even in 100-degree weather, the energy was off the charts, early in the morning. So I think some of the novelty of it, being able to showcase that pride, makes a really good setting for our show.
What about this rivalry intrigues you the most?
I think anything that has the connotation that one side feels as if they lose, they'll never hear the end of it, and that same side also feels like if they win, they don't get enough credit for it. It creates an intensity in the rivalry, and historically, that school has been Iowa. That sort of feels like, okay, we're playing them. We can just get through this game. We won't have to hear about it for the rest of the year. I think that's changing a little bit with the job that Matt has done, and it's more on an even keel. But I like the fact that they play early. I like the fact that hopefully they will continue to play. Something we're going to talk about on the show Saturday morning is that there are a lot of rivalry games that have gone by the boards. Pitt and Penn State are playing for the 100th time tomorrow, and there are no games in the foreseeable future. And candidly, though they're kind of giving lip service to it, Penn State doesn't seem too interested in play. It's not that they're afraid of them, they just don't see what they get out of it. I would say that rivalries like this are sort of the lifeblood of the sport. You don't get the same thing in any other sport. Even with all due respect to maybe a single meeting in basketball, there are just so many games. And with college football being once a week, almost a communal type feel, a building to a singular day, it's really tough to match it. I think that the way that there's pride in this state in programs and the historic animosity between the two, way back in the day, it gives it a lot of texture and a lot of fun.
Impression of Ames, this campus we're on?
It's beautiful. I mean, it's a great place. I think there's a lot of energy here. We had a big tray of meat last night at Hickory Park, so that was good. Lots and lots of meat. I'd eaten there before. I'd forgotten about the portions. The portions may mean that they need to send one of those John Deere gators to roll you out after it's over.
Any insight on who the guest picker is going to be from you?
We are finalizing that. I'm not at liberty to discuss that at this point in the day, but we are bringing a celebrity to Ames. So it should be well received and be a lot of fun. Defensive line, I think is a big thing. Veteran quarterback. And just some of the adjustments. I was talking to some people at Iowa this week about just from game one to game two, some of the different things they're doing with Evanescent to make sure that he's able to use his skills as a pass rusher. He's not constantly dealing with double team concepts or running back double, create a little confusion and let him do what he does best. I think that defense hasn't been tested like it's going to be tomorrow. But I think Iowa's got a really strong defense, one that can lead them to a division championship. And the Big Ten West certainly, at the very least, will be a huge challenge to Wisconsin. And in the offensive, you've got a guy like Nate that I believe might have come in the same recruiting class as Niall Kennick. That when he's played a lot of football, and I think that's a real positive for them.
What is it about Brock Purdy as you saw him dressed by him?
He's got a little bit of an it factor to him. I think the quintessential Brock Purdy play. I mean, he's accurate with the football and he can run. And from what I understand this week, some of the people around here would like for him to run some more. But I mean, he hit 75% of his passes. but that fumble was lying there on the ground. The game was lying on the ground, and he had no business being the one to get the ball, but he did. And I think it's sort of the intangible factor, the way he just elevated the offense when he came in last year, and I don't believe he's lost a start here. Hasn't played in this rivalry yet, but I believe he's perfect at home, and I look forward to seeing him play. I think he's just got a little bit of swagger, a little bit of it to him, in addition to being a really good athlete and really accurate with football.
Was that one of the games you were watching live when that play unfolded?
Yes. Yeah. We watch just about everything. And I was watching, I saw the ball on the ground, and I thought, well, I guess we're not going to Ames. And then, and then he got it back, and they won the football.
Your Sunday game day bus watching it?
I actually was. I was in a restaurant in Fort Worth with my wife and son, and there were a bunch of games on. And that was the one I was kind of glued to.
Even back then, game day was on your radar as a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple of games on the radar, and I'm not going to be disingenuous. Certainly, Maryland's evisceration of Syracuse last week played a big factor in us winding up here. But it was something that we've been talking about in the preseason. We never made a final decision. You look ahead, you look at games on that particular week, and it pretty much got down to barring catastrophic circumstances. And either one of those two places were top two candidates. So I would admit, you do this for a while, and you start looking at games through that prism, and as the ball was lying there, I was like, well, I guess we're not going to Ames this year. And then he got it, and here we are. So we're excited to be here.
All right, fire away.
Desmond, you picked Iowa State to win the Big 12 ahead of this season.
I did.
How do you feel about that pick after week 1? And 2, what kind of led you to that?
How do I feel about it after week 1? I don't let one game, define the season. I think I'm glad they got that game out of their system. It couldn't have come at a better time because you have a bye week that follows. So then you still had a W, but it's an ugly enough W that Matt Campbell, his staff, can go in there and tell his team they're not as good as they thought they were. You make these corrections, and it gets you ready for your state rival, the Iowa Hawkeyes. So I think it couldn't have come at a better time.
What are your impressions of Brock Purdy?
I like Brock Purdy. I like him. I think he's a great dual threat quarterback. Obviously, he didn't run a lot in the first game. I'm sure they have their reasons. He has his reasons. I've read some quotes about why, but he's a really good quarterback. He's a dual threat quarterback. We'll see just exactly how good he's going to be this season tomorrow night, because it's going to be a formidable opponent who's going to be coming after him.
If you're a coach or an offensive coordinator, whatever, how would you defend Vanessa? How would you go about trying to figure him out?
Wow. Oh man. You said if I'm a coach or who?
Or a coordinator, you're trying to block the best defensive end in the country.
Yeah.
Top 5 draft.
I think first of all, I wouldn't run towards him. I would give help. If I did run towards him, I would give I'll run power plays towards him and try to get him before he gets started. Any passing plays, you would have to give him extra attention, maybe with the back or a tight end.
What's the allure to you of coming to a place game day's never been before?
That? No, really. Like when we speak about coming to a place like Ames, the fact that we've never been here is just great allure for us. It really is. It helps when the team wins too.
What was your initial reaction when you found out you were coming to Ames, Iowa?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, we had a sign that said Ames Day, College Ames Day, and we made mention of that. So they've been on our radar, and we're always excited to come to places we've never been before. So I was very, very happy. We knew it was it's always between 2 or 3 different schools every week, and we knew that Ames was on the radar and it was an option. So once we got the green light to come here, we all were just extremely excited. Couldn't wait to get here. We like to come to these towns because we've never been here before, but they love their college football here.
Have you got around yet? I think Rece, you went out and had some barbecue yesterday. Did you get around to Ames yet?
I don't know if you really want to hear what I did, So I sent out on Twitter some requests for things to do with Ames, and one of the things I said I like to vinyl record store there was closed. Very disappointing, extremely disappointing. And then I was gonna go to another one called, I think it's some cafe, vinyl cafe. It was closed. So it hasn't been really great for me if you really want to know that vantage point. It really hasn't. I'm looking forward to some sort of redemption today. Because I gotta start hitting these stores before 7.
I think Wheat Field is open.
Yeah, I went there. I got pictures. Yeah. They got a nice loose leaf tea section that I took a picture of. I like that place, the co-op place. Yeah, I did. I went there, so that was a plus. And I plan on going back to get some loose leaf tea. But back to the vinyl. Utterly disappointing yesterday.
What kind of vinyls are you looking for? Like, what kind of music genre?
Jazz, blues, soul, free 90s.
When you dig into this guys team, what are kind of the things that stand out for you?
Well, you know, Kirk Friend's team is going to be consistent, disciplined, tough up front. You run the ball, it is what it is. It's not like they run, see they go to the spread. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's who they are. You know, they want to beat you in the trenches and be mistake-free team, force you to make mistakes. In this rivalry, the Cyclones has suffered because of turnovers, and that'll be big tomorrow night too. I mean, tomorrow afternoon also.
There's always a narrative around certain coaches moving on after certain places. Has it surprised you Matt Campbell has stayed in Ames and Iowa State as long as he has?
What year is this for him?
Year 4, I believe.
Well, it's not that long. I don't think. I don't think it's that long. So yeah.
What do you think of the job he's done here?
I think he's done a fantastic job. I've been a fan of Matt Campbell since he's been at Toledo. I've called several of his games while he was in the MAC, so I've been a fan of his for quite some time. I like his approach. I like his philosophy. I'm a fan of the job he's done so far here.
Last one. Have you gotten in to see any of the facilities over there yet, or with the coaches? I mean, what strikes you about what you've seen so far here?
Yeah. So yesterday, as soon as I came in town, I went straight to the facility and actually went to lift weights and met with the SID, and I caught the guys. They were in the indoor facility, going through their practice, and so I was able to see some of the guys. I spoke to Coach Campbell and a couple other coaches, and got a good workout in. That was about the extent of it. Nothing extreme, nothing great to report. Kind of casual, but they let me use their facility to work out in, so that was great.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys. That was good.
So, what was your reaction when you heard you're coming to Ames, Iowa?
I was really excited. I came here for a Thursday night game. Golly, getting old. 5-6 years ago, I guess, when I was doing Thursday night. I never was. And it was an awesome atmosphere. I was like, that's a sweet atmosphere. And I knew it was on the list of 12, I think, that College Game Day hadn't been to yet. So I knew what kind of fans there was here, and I know this atmosphere is going to be absolutely loony. So for us, it's always fun.
What are your impressions of Brock Purdy, and just what kind of future do you think he has?
It's Purdy. I remember watching him last year, and I was immediately on board. And Trevor Lawrence got all the attention a year ago, but he was the next true freshman that I looked at, and I was like, dude, that dude's a star. I love the pump fakes, the wheels, the mind. You can tell he's got some moxie, some attitude. Like, I love watching him compete. Now listen, no Keem Butler, no David Montgomery, and that makes a difference. It'll be interesting to see him take over. I saw flashes, I know it was you and I know it wasn't the best performance in the world, but I saw more staying in the pocket and delivering throws and being accurate, but he's got something about him that when I watch him, I like it, I enjoy it, so it's fun.
How good could he be down the road, because you rarely have really seen much of him? So
well, I mean, I think this offense is going to be good for him, and he's going to be very successful. And if he continues to develop in the pocket and be able to do that stuff, and then you start to mix it, you saw game 1, you saw some option and you saw some creativity. And Jones allows you to be the guy that can run the jet sweeps, and you can throw quick bubbles to him, but you can also have some fun with him and Purdy at the same time. I think getting that running back, get 3 guys with a bunch of 11 plus carries that I think will continue to work itself out and find Montgomery's replacement, who that is. But I think it's going to be an offense that's perfectly tailored for him and his abilities, and he can do. I think honestly though, he can run any offense. I think he's got some special gifts.
Is that pass rush, from FNS in Iowa? Is that quick game to Jones the best way to beat that, or what's?
It's one of the ways to beat it. You're not going to sit there, especially after, watching game one. I don't think the protection, the fumble return wasn't Brock's fault. He got blindsided, and shoot, the play before that he got hit when he almost was a pick, And so I think that the line is going to be a big issue. Is can they hold up? Can they protect? I do think the quick game helps. I think the running game helps. I think it's a system that you can tell. I can tell by the way the running backs run the football. Like, they are coached not to bounce it and get negative plays. Like, they want 2nd and 7. They want 2nd and 6. Fall forward, move the sticks. All of them stay shoulder square to the line of scrimmage. Like, it's a fun group to watch, and it's a fun offense to watch. But you'll come out with 3 tight ends in one series, and they'll throw the quick game. And it'll be interesting to watch this team evolve and see if the deep ball can be more a part of that, instead of the dink and dunk. But you have to be able to get quick game and run game and all that stuff to keep Iowa's pass rush off balance, because those guys can beat those tackles. Those guys can win if they know it's 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8. So to wrap around the thought man back there is don't let them get 3rd and 10, obvious passing situations, stuff like that.
Has Reed Lima caught your attention? He seems like kind of the most overlooked guy on Iowa State's defense.
Well, I like the whole defense too, and I like the system, and I like how it's evolved and what it is. Like, here's the thing: I think there's a lot of teams across the country that they run a system, and there's coaches that run a system 100% to what they do. That's their system, and you're going to fit in it. They're going to try to force square pegs into round holes sometimes. That's what I love about Iowa State's defense. You saw them play more 4-man offense or defensive line, and you haven't most of the time you see them play 3 defensive linemen. I love the 3 safety look where you don't have a clue what's coming. Like, who's spinning down, who's playing the run, who's playing the pass, like coverages, the way they tackle, the way they attack. I just love everything about it. I love the system. I love what they do, and I think it was created because of the Big 12 and finding answers. And here's the thing: everybody's copying what Iowa State is doing now. I don't know if y'all realize that or not, but I watched Clemson the other day, and I'm going, that's literally Iowa State's defense. Like, it's something that's being noticed all across college football. Last year, I remember the West Virginia game was a big game where we were like, God, how'd they just do that? They just shut them down. Will Greer's throwing for 6,000 yards a game and taking deep shots. So there's a lot of things to like about Iowa State. It's not just Purdy and company. The defense is special too, I think.
What's the biggest thing that impressed you about FNS?
Power. I think he's got stone hands. You watch him hit tackles sometimes, and tackles just buckle backwards. So I think he's just got that. He's got some grown man, some adult in him, and just pops people. And he's got good hands. And they started moving him around. He got double teamed game 1, and then they started moving him around, some stunting him. And I know as a defensive end, when they know where you're at every play, it makes it very easy to double team and chip and do all that stuff. But to me, the first thing and the main thing with him is the power.
Something we've been asking everybody is what are your thoughts about Ames? Had any chance to do something in the past 24 hours?
Well, we don't get to really enjoy the town like everybody else does because we're here to work. So I don't have any great reports. I'm not a food person. I don't care about food. I eat to survive. So I'm not like going to visit all the spots. Like, give me a salad, I'm good. Like, give me a weight room, we're good. And give me some tape. Like, give me some film. So, we don't really take in all the scenes. Now, tomorrow is when we'll get to see this. And I think this is going to be, bananas. I think it's going to be absolutely nuts. So that will be a heck of a lot of fun. I think everybody, just like Washington State last year, I think people will go, holy cow, look at how great those fans are. That's insane. I think we're going to have that kind of scene.
What's the tape on Nate Stanley's say for you?
Smart, very smart, big time arm. He has a really good offensive line. He can make all the throws. He's efficient. I think he's a really, really good quarterback. He's not like Purdy going to fly around and make people miss and do all kinds of crazy stuff, but he plays within a system really, really well and doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and I think you can trust him. You can been starting for a long time, so I think when you come into a hostile atmosphere,
that's the kind of guy you want. You know you can lean on, whether it's third and long, whether it's third and short, whatever it is. He'll get you in the right plays and get you out. So he's a really good quarterback.